In Lesson 5, you worked to create an alignment with your boss's expectations. It's important to keep these models in mind for upcoming one-on-one meetings. But what should you do if you can't wait for the quarterly or monthly meeting to come around? What if you need answers today? If all your deadlines have converged and you don't know how to get it all done, first things first. Deep breath, try to relax. There are always ways to help yourself through this stressful storm. After all, you may not need a lot of help. It's possible you just need a nudge, a little guidance, direction, or clarity on some priorities. But how do you get them? Well, I want you to ask your boss without feeling incompetent or like you're shirking your responsibilities. This is easier said than done, I know. In fact, for most people, their biggest fear about asking for help is looking incompetent. But that's usually just us projecting fears into the unknown. It's really the opposite. It's a sign of competence and being responsible. Don't believe me? Well, here's a personal experience I had with my office manager who asked for some time off, claiming she was feeling sick. I asked her what was wrong, and she immediately began crying. She told me 5 different people in her office were giving her tasks and responsibilities, and she was just overwhelmed. There was no way she saw to meet everyone's needs. Does this sound familiar? It's a common issue. My office manager didn't know what to prioritize and was worried that she couldn't handle her job. Want to hear the worst part? I had no idea this was going on. But I was so grateful she let me know because it was actually my job to work out these priorities with her. I failed her and didn't even know it. So, you got it. We worked out how to work better together. We started meeting regularly to review her workload. We also clarified when she could make decisions on her own and when she should send them to me. Lastly, I talked to everyone in the office about the changes she and I were making to help her help them. The good news is you can do the same thing with your manager or with your employees if you're a manager. Here are a few steps that might work well for you. First, do your due diligence. Don't just complain. Come to your boss with the information they need to understand your situation clearly and make a decision you need. Try interviewing other project stakeholders to understand their challenges and priorities so you can represent them too. It's important not just to represent your viewpoint. That can lead to your boss arguing with other managers to find out the info they could have heard from you. Try using the 6 stages of supportive agreements from Module 4, Lesson 8 to help with this process. You can also create an executive summary, it's a brief paragraph that describes the facts of the problem and the actions you need your manager to take. Use the 5 levels from Module 4, Lesson 5. Describe the positive steps you worked on, then list what remains unresolved. And don't forget to add potential risks or negative consequences. Lastly, be clear about what you're asking your boss to do. Provide guidance, clarify priorities, make a decision, take action, and once a decision is made, make sure you fully understand it. Repeat it back to your boss until they say, yep, you got it. Be sure to also follow up with a brief summary email to confirm everything and express appreciation. Whether it's at work or home, you may run into situations where you need someone's help or cooperation, or where you have more to do than you know how to get done. Take some time to set these steps in motion and then talk with your boss or spouse about what he or she can do in the future to help you streamline this process. See you in Lesson 7 on navigating difficult types of conflict.